What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news, and the news never stops, and as long as the sun comes up in the morning, neither does Wrestlelamia. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including what really happened when WWE superstars were trapped in Saudi Arabia, something unexpected for Raw tonight, what was supposed to happen at Backlash, the original plans for Edge and Randy Orton, and Raw's uncertain future. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But now let's hit the intro because it's now time for the news. Now our first story looks at Vince McMahon threatening to fire wrestlers unless they did what he told them to do. Now fans have been wondering what really happened to a number of WWE superstars and employees at 2019's Crown Jewel pay-per-view when they were reportedly stuck in the nation due to mechanical issues with a plane. However, as has been reported by several sources, there were different stories on what happened, with initial social media posts by wrestlers suggesting they were being detained. Subsequent posts contains messages such as "never again," but as often happens in the WWE, the wrestlers suddenly became silent and toed the company line that everyone was fine. Now the lawsuit filed by WWE shareholders Firefighters Pension System of the City of Kansas City, Missouri Trust that claims the company withheld important information about its relationship with Saudi Arabia has revealed some potentially damning evidence about what really happened. The first witness is an unnamed WWE superstar who testified about the events after Crown Jewel, while the second is an employee of the Middle Eastern Broadcasting System who talked about the arguments between the WWE and Saudi officials about their television deal. The Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer reported on what he claims is a testimony given by an unnamed WWE superstar, with Ringside News summarizing Meltzer's take. This superstar confirmed basically everything that was reported that all these other people reported didn't happen. The testimony includes observing armed military-looking individuals outside the plane before WWE superstars were supposed to take off. They were all in black, staring at the superstars and blocking all exits. This superstar testified in the lawsuit that he was told by a stewardess in Saudi Arabia that it seems like someone didn't want us to leave this country. Also, the pilot seemed very distressed when he told the superstars that they couldn't leave. According to a report at Wrestling News, an anonymous former WWE wrestler came forward in order to give details of what he witnessed during this situation. In the lawsuit, the star is referred to as CW2 and notes that the talent worked for the company from 2012 to 2020. The talent was part of the crew and noted that part of the crew was stranded while other talents such as Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, in addition to McMahon, were in a hurry to get out of Saudi Arabia on a separate flight. The anonymous wrestler was part of the top 20 who flew back to the United States ahead of the rest of the crew in order to work the SmackDown television event, which should narrow down who he or she is. As often seems to happen in the WWE, a number of wrestlers complained about a situation only for them to cave in, going along to keep their jobs. This may have been what happened, as Meltzer reported on the unnamed WWE superstar's testimony. After the event, he said that he and a co-worker went straight to talent relations and said they would not go back to Saudi Arabia. He said that other wrestlers tried to do the same, but the WWE abused their power and the future trajectory of their careers if they did not go. This in itself would open the WWE up to a potential lawsuit for unsafe work environment and possible coercion. However, the problem is that there is only one wrestler testifying at this point, and if their testimony is contradicted by other wrestlers, it could be difficult to prove coercion. A strong piece of supplementary evidence is testimony from the television official, with Ringside News' Felix Upton reporting an employee of the Middle Eastern Broadcasting Network confirmed that WWE could not agree on basic assumptions of a proposed deal. It is said that WWE wanted an $80 million licensing fee and a projection of $100 million over the top subscribers, which was based on the number of OSN subscribers who watch WWE. The definition of a smoking gun is a piece of incontrovertible incriminating evidence. Unless WWE can figure out a way to disrupt these testimonies, it seems like they have a lot of explaining to do. Vince McMahon is well known for his skills as a karma Houdini, avoiding legal entanglements that would destroy mere mortals. If this evidence proves true, do you think Vinnie Mac and the WWE will wrestle their way out of trouble with their shareholders? If not, it could prove costly for the publicly traded company. Next up, something unexpected is planned for Raw tonight. Now tonight's Raw will feature the fallout from Backlash, and we will see a number of storylines progress. However, with Edge likely out, we won't see him, but we're likely to see Randy Orton and his word on winning the greatest wrestling match ever. Now Insider WrestleVotes tweeted that there's going to be something very unexpected for Raw tonight. He tweeted, "I really don't want to spoil the news for everyone, so I'm not. However, I got a phone call earlier with info that Raw will feature something unexpected, which I think everyone will like. Sometimes scars never heal." Now whilst he didn't give it away, the idea that he would say sometimes scars never heal may point out to Christian returning. After all, Scars Never Heal is his actual theme music. Could we see Captain Charisma return to the ring? Maybe challenging Randy Orton to get revenge? Who knows, this could be completely unrelated and we'll see the return of Brock Lesnar tonight. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, what was changed at Backlash? And when it was reported that Paul Heyman was fired from his position as executive director of Raw, the news coming from backstage was that Vince had quickly implemented his own changes to the card. Now, before we get all excited, according to Dave Meltzer, there was nothing major. So before we think Vince was going to put the title on Lashley at any chance, well, unfortunately, he wasn't. Meltzer reported that there were only slight changes to the finishes of matches. Now, which matches those were remain unanswered. However, it could have been the idea of bringing the punt kick back after over 7 years and using it as the finish to the Orton Edge match, or the Asuka Nia Jax double countout finish, keeping both superstars looking strong. Next up, the original plans for Edge vs Randy Orton. Now these two WWE superstars put in some of their best work last night, and if you managed to catch our review, you know that we didn't exactly conclude it as being the greatest wrestling match ever, but something that was close and certainly a great match. However, this match wasn't even planned for Backlash. It was actually originally planned for SummerSlam. Sportskeeter's Gary Cassidy tweeted, "Unsure if this is already known, but I've been told Edge vs Randy Orton was brought forward from SummerSlam due to the lack of star power available to WWE for WWE Backlash. The decision was made due to Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch being unavailable. Now that makes sense since apart from the WWE Championship match between Lashley and McIntyre, the cards seem pretty lackluster." Cassidy also noted that this match wasn't supposed to be billed as the greatest wrestling match ever, and Vince McMahon only used it to hype up the match, boosting star power. Now I think it was a smart move not to have it at SummerSlam, since this could have included some huge matches and big title changes that could have overshadowed the match. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, is anyone safe on Raw? Now in case you missed our recent news video, big changes are coming to Raw, not only due to Paul Heyman's exit from the Red Brand's creative department, but because the WWE is reportedly resurrecting its entire creative process. And as we noted in our earlier news video, it's a typical WWE production with no one knowing what's going on. Or with that in mind, what's going to happen to the core of wrestlers who are being pushed by Paul Heyman? Superstars such as Drew McIntyre, Humberto Carrillo, Aleister Black, The Street Profits, Zelina Vega and many others. Speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer weighed in on what could happen. "I think the Drew stuff will stay. Well, I guess I shouldn't say anything. I do think that Randy Orton and Charlotte Flair and Drew McIntyre are going to do well, and Seth Rollins. I think aside from that, every single bet is off when it comes to people on that roster. Some of them are going to do well, and some of them are going to be unhappy. Based on past experience, go with that trusted WWE adage, anything can happen in the WWE. Now we could see Drew McIntyre forming a new version of 3MB for all we know with Vince McMahon, and if so, we can't wait to see how Drew McIntyre spins that in interviews. It's safe to say that fans should expect the unexpected." Dave Meltzer added, "A lot like pretty much I think everything on Raw is changed starting tomorrow. Let's just hope we don't see the McMahon family address the crowd and say they are going to listen to the fans from now on."
We're going to empower our superstars and empower all of you.
We're going to give you what you want.
But there you have it guys, the latest news and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.